Hello, YouTube. So we are live and in living color today. And today we're talking about when terror takes over. It's really ironic because there's a number of things that have been happening over the course of this week, as short as it's been. And one of the things is the number of emails and questions we've gotten in regards to being afraid and your life being caused by fear and things standing in your way and not allowing you the freedom to move forward in the life that you really want to lead. And so, one of the things that becomes the most challenging is when we are in a place that what we are looking at is, how do I move forward? So let's talk, shall we? I spent the first 50 years of my life terrified of my own shadow. I had all these ideas and so many things I wanted to accomplish, and I would start moving, and the moment I would start moving, something would happen. And it left me in a position of just sheer terror. And I couldn't move. And I didn't know how to get out of that terror. And I was one of those people who would go to all the greats, the Tony Robbins, the Millionaire Mindset. And I could see the future, like I could see the other side of the mountain, right? But for whatever reason, I just didn't know how to cross the chasm or how to bring the chasm close by. And I think that that is the number one reason why I'm such a huge supporter of the HOW program. And this is not a commercial or an ad or a live stream for the HOW program. This is actually to take time to share with you guys what it takes to cross that threshold and go to where you want to go. So here's what I ended up having to do. I had to figure out how, what that looked like and what that meant. And here's what I learned. The way that we cross out of the fear and into that life that we dream of is that we make a decision. And the first decision we have to make is, when am I going to deal with all the baggage that I carry? I never realized how much baggage I had. I thought I had dealt with it and I thought it was all gone and I didn't understand. But then I started really tuning in to those voices in my head, those voices that would say, you don't have the ability to do this. You can't do this. You, not enough, not enough, not enough. And I started recognizing who those voices were. Let me tell you something. When there is greatness in you, when you have a call and a purpose for your life, boy, those voices are so loud, but they're there to stop you. Because the moment you begin to unleash all that baggage, all that chaos, all that confusion, let me tell you what happens. All of a sudden you feel free. And then everything begins to move and you just have this flow and things are going and you're like, what is this? And 1 minute you weren't able to accomplish anything. And the next minute you're just blowing things up all over the place. You're getting stuff done. You're moving. You're like, oh yeah, woohoo. I'm knocking stuff out. It was so funny because in this last 2 weeks, I've put together 3 books. I'm almost finished with the How workbook. We've got a homeless book that's coming out that's still not titled. We still call it the homeless book. It's a book and a workbook. And this has been in less than 30 days. When you can get past what being afraid, it is amazing what you can accomplish in such a short period of time. But you have to first deal with those voices that keep telling you that you can't. You see, this is such a passion for me because losing any portion of my life because I was terrified was such a loss. It was a loss to the people that I could have been there to help. It was a loss to me as an individual because there was so much more I could have accomplished in the first 50 years of my life that now I have to truncate in this last 50 years of my life. Well, technically 70 years of my life because I'm gonna live to be the covenant 120. I always told my son I would be in better shape when I was 80 than I was at 40. So I'm holding myself to that and I'm going to make that happen. Anyway, what I want you to get and what I want you to know is that there's never a time that you should lose anything to fear because fear is so easily defeated. And even today, when I feel that fear start trying to creep in, I just get busy. I'm like, okay, what was it I need to do? Let's get back. I'm like, okay, what was it I need to do? Let's get back on track. Let's look and find out where I'm supposed to be. What does the schedule say I'm supposed to do? And learn not to be so hard on yourself. You're going to make mistakes. I do it every day, all the time. But when I make a mistake, I go, okay, that didn't work quite like I wanted to. Let's shift it and try something new. And this is the something new we're going to try. We put that plan in place and we move forward. But you've got to understand, this is not an emotional decision. It is a well thought out, logical, and reasonable decision that allows you to understand you always have successes. I don't care if the success was as small as you graduated high school and or elementary school, 8th grade, you went to high school, you got your GED, it doesn't matter. You have so many accomplishments over and through your life. And here's the thing is that a lot of people sit here and they've been listening to this content. And the thing that they're really struggling with is like, well, how does this make a difference? Well, here's the thing. There are people out there who can tell you, oh, I'm going to 10 times your income. I'm going to 100 times your income. I'm going to give you a money back guarantee because you're going to make all this money. Because the thing they want you to hear is make money. But what I'm here to tell you is that while all of that is good and well, and there's nothing wrong with that, if you don't fix the real problem before you go and try and make that money, you're not going to make it. And the reason you're not going to make it is because you're going to get halfway into it and you're going to go, oh, I can't do this. Because the terror sinks in and you're like, oh my God, it's crumbling, it's falling, it's going down around me. Like, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do. I don't know where. And you panic. And because of that panic, you freeze. And now you're stuck. I am declaring a personal war on fear. If it is up to me, if there is anything I can do, I will scream from the mountaintops that getting out of this fear is what I want each of you to have the freedom to do. Because let me tell you something. If you and I can take the journey to get you out of fear, then you can go 1,000,000 times your income in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, because nothing has the authority to reign in your life that you don't control and that you're not giving authority to. Fear can come and try and take over all it wants to, but you're sitting back there saying, absolutely not, not today. Today is my day. And I'm going to take this over. I'm going to accomplish this. I'm going to make this happen. And now you win the battle. Not just the battle, the entire war. And once you win the war on fear, you have everything you need to go 10, 15, 20, 100 times your income. Because the only thing that's stopping you right now is your inability to let go of those problems, those pains, those hurts of yesterday that are still ringing through your head. The times you were traumatized. You may have been traumatized, and that was not your fault. But that trauma left you with the need to heal. And that healing can only be done by you. You have to want to be okay. And I don't know about you, but I don't know a single person who at the end of the day doesn't want to be okay. So, on that note, I want you to keep in mind that the How program is here, and we're going to start unleashing the How program while we're here, because I want all of you to be able to start and to keep moving and to go forward and to know exactly how. Because let me tell you, the other thing that used to drive me crazy as I'm stuck in this terror, right, is that no one would ever tell me how to do it. Okay, you're telling me I can do it, but how? How do I publish a book? How do I write a book? What do I write about? What ways, what means, what methods can I use to become okay? What do I do? How do I do it? And the answer was always elusive. No one could tell me how to do it. And I would be so frustrated. And so many days I would sit there with tears streaming down my eyes because I just didn't know how to cross that threshold. And that's what the How Workbook and the How Book and the How program are all about, is how to cross into that threshold. And so the first step I have already given you. You have to begin with what is inside of you and the baggage that you're carrying. Because until you are willing and able to let go of that baggage, you're not going to go anywhere. So, in the next few days, we're going to put out some PDFs, and I think you'll be able to find them on our website, which is www.destinyeducate.com. I'll put it in the chat for those of you who want to know how. And if you go to the website, you'll start finding the PDFs that show you exactly how to walk through, what questions to ask yourself, how to build yourself up, how to deal with that baggage that has been elusive and you haven't wanted to touch. That's what we're there for. And that's the freedom that we want to give you. And that is our gift to the world, so that from this day forward, nothing else can keep you prisoner. I got to run for now. I got an appointment I got to get to. But I hope all of you have a great day. Thank you for joining. We'll see you next time.